Sports96 here, but the O is a 0, and this video today is following on from my previous last few videos, so if you haven't seen them, please do go back and check them out. A couple of them were looking at who I think are the best under-21 players in the league for each team, and then I made a team out of those players, and then the other couple were picking the best players aged 31 or over, and then making a team out of them. So in this video today, I'm looking at those two teams, and I'm fixing them together into what I think is the best team made out of those two. So if you're interested in finding out who I pick, make sure to stick around and see. Goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez in goal, and I've started with a player from the over 31s team. In truth, this was a very easy one. The goalkeeper for the under 21 team was James Trafford, and although he is a promising goalkeeper, he isn't a touch on Emi Martinez currently. He's one of the top goalkeepers in the league, so unfortunately for Trafford, he had no chance in this picking. Again, I do rate Trafford, and I think if he continues to improve and get game time, he could be on his way to becoming a top Premier League goalkeeper, but he has some way to go to better Emi Martinez, World Cup winning goalkeeper in the sticks for this team. It's a good start. Right back, Kieran Trippier, second position now, and yet again, it was a pretty easy pick. Well, considering they both play for Newcastle, you just have to look at who starts the most to know who's the better pick here. Tino Livramento is a very good young player who has a very high ceiling if he can stay injury-free. Kieran Trippier, on the other hand, is one of the best right backs in the world currently, captains his team and keeps Livramento limited to odd appearances. Defensively, Trippier is brilliant and his dead ball speciality is fantastic. The amount of assists he gets is up there with the best of them as well. Centre-backs Thiago Silva and Josko Gvardiol. Looking at the centre of defence, and we've got a mix of both the over 31 team and the under 21 team. Thiago Silva and Josko Gvardiol. On one hand, you have a 39-year-old Terminator of a defender. He just doesn't age, doesn't deteriorate, doesn't show any sign of slowing down. The man is an absolute beast of a player who looks like he could still be playing at the top level for a couple of years yet. Then on the other side of defence, and you have a 21-year-old at the other end of his career, but no less impressive. Speed, power, physicality, aggression, technique. Gvardiol has all of the attributes you could ask for in a footballer. Absolutely outrageous player, and what an outrageous partnership this would be. I couldn't see many strikers even getting a sniff against these two. Left back Destiny Udogie finishing up with the defence, and we have our second pick from the under 21 side. No debate on this one. The options were Destiny Udogie or Ashley Young, and although Young has had a tremendous career, he is nowhere near the level of Udogie anymore. Udogie has been an important part of a brilliant Spurs defence this year, and he hasn't been afraid to bombard forward as much as possible to help that attack. I really like this player, and I think he has a lot of physical attributes that you'd be begging for from your defender. If he can continue on this current trajectory, we could be looking at one of the league's best defenders in a couple of years' time. Centre defensive mid Casemiro. I've gone for a centre defensive mid within this midfield three, and that centre defensive mid is Casemiro. In the under 21 team, I had Elanga in a calm centre forward role, but he is obviously a million, billion, trillion miles away from the level of Casemiro. Casemiro is literally a giant of European football, winning everything there is to win during his time at Real Madrid, then coming to England and being one of the best players in the league in his first season. Yes, he hasn't been quite as impressive so far this season, but neither have United, and there is still plenty of time to go. He is still an outrageous talent and will protect the defensive line, if it even needs protecting, to a world-class level. Centre mids Kevin De Bruyne and Ryan Gravenberch, and now we have the remainder of the midfield three with what might be a surprising selection. Obviously, KDB is not the surprise here. A world-class player with years of experience, years of winning every trophy under the sun, and probably still years left at the top of the game. No, the surprise might be Ryan Gravenberch. I have gone for him ahead of Moises Caicedo and Jorginho, the most expensive player in the Premier League history and a Euros winning star midfielder. Now, hear me out. Caicedo isn't having as good of a season as we all expected at Chelsea. He hasn't been horrendous, but just not insanely impressive, particularly considering the price tag. He could gain his wings and become an absolute world star, which, to be honest, I don't doubt that he could be, as he has a high enough ceiling for it. But right now, he isn't the better player, and he isn't showing enough to indicate that he will go on to be a better player. Then there is Jorginho, who is obviously a top-class player, but he is more of a squad player at Arsenal this season, and I think he isn't quite the same level nowadays as what he was. Don't get me wrong, both Caicedo and Jorginho are fantastic players, and I could be wearing my Liverpool hat a little too tight, but I just think Gravenberch has shown incredible talent when he has played, and it looks like he is well on his way to being an absolute phenom in the middle of the park. Again, this could be a bit biased, but based on this season and the potential going forward, I'd pick him over the other two. Let me know what you think in the comments. Right wing Mohamed Salah, although I absolutely admire Michael Olise, I believe him to be a real fantastic player, there is no way he'd be getting picked ahead of Mohamed Salah. Mo Salah is one of the best players in the world right now and has been for the past 6 years. He has scored 198 goals and gained 83 assists during his time at Liverpool. That is a total of 281 direct goal involvements in 322 games for the Reds. As a winger, I mean, seriously? The guy is a freak of nature. That is mind-blowing numbers and up there with the absolute best wingers to have ever played the game. The man's a legend. Left wing, Heung-min Son over to the left side of the attacking three, and I've actually gone for a man who I put in striker within the over 31 team. It was either Willian, who was also in that team, or Alejandro Garnacho. And although Willian has had a tremendous career, and Garnacho is on his way to having a tremendous one, just look at that goal over the weekend. They both aren't at Son's level, nowhere near. Heung-min Son has been one of the best players in the Premier League and in Europe since his arrival at Spurs, and it could be argued has been the best player in the league so far this season. Whether it is up front or off the left, he annihilates defenders and bags so many goals and assists, it's scary. Just imagine Mo Salah and Heung-min Son on the wings of the same team. They just never stop absolutely bagging. Striker Evan Ferguson leading the line, and I've gone for the young man, Evan Ferguson. This lad is on his way to being one of the best strikers around if he can continue his current development and trajectory. Such a physical lad with an incredibly deadly eye for goal. I don't think it'll be too long before we see the big boys coming in for his signature, but it is going to take an absolute treasure chest of money to prize him away from the Seagulls, particularly after the new contract he's recently signed. It shows I have a lot of belief in the lad that I've picked him to spearhead this team, and I think I'll be proving right in the seasons to come. But for now, this is the team that I have come up with from the previous videos, and it is mostly dominated by the over 31 team, with 7 players from that team and only 4 from the under 21 team. Let me know your thoughts, but for me, I think this team would be winning the league. And there we have it, guys, mostly dominated by the over 31 team, which is fair enough because there's a few absolute ballers in that team. But please do let me know down in the comments what you thought of my picks. And if you liked the video, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. You can catch me across all of my other socials on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, X and YouTube where you're watching this video, all under the same handle, Bolts96. There's 0. See you on the next one.